Hello there, I'm the student, and today I wanted to show you another really crazy game mechanic. And as you already saw in the title probably and in the thumbnail, I'm going to show you a legit way inside the game without any exploits of save files or something, how to form Germany in 1518. And that of course starts with the Teutonic Order, but I promise you not the way that you think it will work, because you notice in the background that I'm setting my game up, of course fighting or preparing to fight Poland, call in Muscovy even, with the promise of land against Lithuania and Poland, and then take 3 provinces only, because you need only 4 provinces. And now comes the important part of choosing the missions. You can decide whether you go to the Crusader Mission Path or the Prussian Mission Path. And of course I'm going to choose the Prussian Mission Path, but not only that, you can also decide how to deal with the Holy Roman Empire, and that is actually the important question. Now, just to show you, there is a German conquest mission path which actually leads to forming Germany. It gives you permanent claims basically everywhere, and then in the end it lets you get the event or rise of a German empire that lets you form the German empire, of course. But this mission is locked behind Admin Tech 20, and that is why I'm going to choose the Holy Roman Diplomacy path, which technically lets you form the Holy Roman Empire, become emperor, fight the League War and so on. And of course also lets me form Prussia, but keep in mind you are not allowed to be inside the empire when you click that mission, because otherwise you are not going to form Prussia. So stay outside the empire, click that mission to get the Holy Roman Diplomacy path, become Prussia with their insane national ideas, and the rest is history. So I hope you enjoy Germany in 1518. Oh man, that was a really tough war, but in the end I was victorious. As you can see, I have of course pieced out like more than half of the nations, but you can see it on Austria alone. Austria alone lost 106,000 troops in this war, while I have lost only 30,000. But anyways, the question is, why have I fought this war? And you notice that there are Brandenburg, Austria, Mainz and Trier in this war, which are the missing electors that I couldn't ally, and that is so that I can dismantle the Holy Roman Empire. Now, I am aware of the fact that I just a second ago chose the mission tree to unite the HRE, as you can see, become emperor and so on. But you notice this mission tree is actually not about forming Germany. It's about forming the HRE, right? And also, as you can see with this mission over here, it is locked behind fighting the League War. Now let's have a look on this mission, for example, because it's I think a pretty good example. It says you need to have the Protestant League War fire and win, or you have the Protestant League War not fire and be active for 30 years, or to reach 625 without triggering it, which I of course can't do if the HRE doesn't exist. We're going to see how that is going to develop. So first of all, finally they actually made an event for the dismantle, which is actually quite nice. Also the power projection, the splendor, and the prestige, which obviously converts into monarch points, but also gives me aggressive expansion impact, of course. Now that's that first of all, as you can see, and I can also take the justified wars now because of that, which is really nice. But now let's go to the mission, because the mission, as you can see right now, requires me to own 40 provinces instead now in North Germany. Now you see this one over here, for example, which gave me imperial authority before, now gives me 150 admin power. And this means that actually not only the requirements change, as you can see, conquer more, but also the rewards changed. Because I have dismantled the HRE and took that HRE mission path, which I technically can't fulfill anymore. As you can see, I just need 20 provinces now instead of becoming an elector. And that is why I'm going to now fulfill the different mission tree that now has changed, as you can see. And I'm just going to conquer Germany. After all, you have to conquer Germany to become Germany. That's nothing changed with that, actually. You're going to see probably a very short time lapse. And after I'm done with that, I'm going to show you how you can form the insane strong nation of Germany around 1520. So as you can see, conquering Germany will be no problem at all, because I have actually minus 50% aggressive expansion impact modifier because of justified wars, the H ability, Prussian traditions that I of course have, the state propaganda of espionage ideas, and the prestige. So as long as I keep my prestige up on around 100, I will have minus 50% permanent aggressive expansion impact until this age ends, which is of course going to take even longer the more Catholic nations I annex, because then the reform progress goes slower. And on top of this minus 50% reduction, of course, there is no HRE anymore, which means that the plus 50% on top of the conquest of HRE provinces is also not existing. And there it is. You can see this almost perfect Prussia. As you can see, little Frankfurt over here destroying my name placement. But this is what I've got in 1518. And this is the moment in which I achieved in this game to form Germany, the earliest state possible. And I'm going to show you in a second how. But first of all, just so you know, the coalition is not a problem at all. You notice Hungary has Poland and Bohemia under personal union, so, and I have a truce with him, so this is basically not valid to join a coalition at all. Sweden doesn't even have enough AE. Denmark has a truce, Great Britain is positive opinion, France is my ally, Castile is my ally, Aragon is a personal union under my ally Castile. Same goes for Provence, is a personal union of France, and also, you couldn't believe it, yeah, they actually PU'd Burgundy after they chose to stay independent, so those big lowlands countries are also not valid to join my coalition. Venice is my ally. I improved relations with Tuscany and Milan over there. Switzerland has a truce, and in total, right now, I can just count how many people can join my coalition because they are so less in numbers. So there are literally right now only 8 minor nations, like so really small nations, that could join my coalition, which they of course won't do, because I have 75,000 troops and I am the #1 great power with 1038 own development and yeah, my Livonian March, of course. After you saw what I did, what I'm going to do in a second, you notice that this admin tech 10 requirement of this mission is actually the requirement for you to form Germany. That is also why you can maybe get it a few 1 or 2 years earlier if you take the tech more ahead of time than I have. So as you can see, just I can just click it right now. You can see, nice event. Also clergy rebels will not rise up again, and I can now decide to stay a bishopric or to become the Prussian kingdom, of course, and that even though I am still Catholic. So this way you could play a Catholic Prussia with the Prussian monarchy still enacted. This is not Germany yet. You have to complete the other 2 missions, and for that you need to have 60 provinces in North Germany region, which is this region. Also all of Bohemia except for Silesia is in that, which as you can see I have, which gives me just 150 admin mana. And then unite the Holy Roman Empire. After I dismantled the Holy Roman Empire before, I need 100 provinces owned in North and South Germany regions, which is quite a lot, but you don't need to own like the provinces that you need to form Germany exactly. So I don't need like Hamburg, for example. I have it, but I wouldn't need it. I just need 100 provinces and I just need to own them, which means I have a little bit overextension right now. I'm going to get rid of most of that easily, but yeah, you can do that with overextension, so that is not a problem at all. And then this mission reward is just crazy strong. You can see my capital gets a modifier, governing capacity modifier plus 10%, and even though it's a province modifier, as it affects my governing capacity, it essentially is a global modifier, right? And on top of that I get unification through iron and blood, which gives me plus 20% national manpower modifier until the end of the game in 1518. That's a pretty insane modifier for that matter. And then it also of course gives me the event Rise of the German Empire. And there we have it. Actually the mod that I have, the Great Exhibition, gives me a nice picture. The picture actually refers to the for real historical formation of the German Empire in 1871 in Versailles, this picture of all cities. Now actually this means that I can form Germany now more than 350 years before it formed historically. So you can decide to enable the national decision to form Germany, which is ridiculous because I have that decision already. It just needs admin tech 20 anyways if you click that. But you can also decide to change to Germany. Which, first of all, this is Germany. I am the German Empire in 1518, which is, in my opinion, totally insane. And yeah, I can and I will take that national ideas. We have to talk about this a second, why Germany in 1518 is so damn crazy strong. Because Germany, after all, is a late game tech, a definite late game tech, and it has late game ideas. You can see it has plus 15% infantry combat ability. Actually, there are only 3 nations in game, or 3 national ideas in the entire game that have 20%. So this is basically the 4th best in game that you can get. As well as some legitimacy and diplomatic relations, which is also helpful. -2 national unrest, -10% technology cost, which is only 1 out of 8 idea sets in the entire game that has -10%. Discipline, of course, it has to be in the German national ideas. Trade efficiency 10%, also something for the economy. 0.5 army tradition, which is really nice. 5% admin efficiency, which I will be able to get as soon as I fill my third idea group that I have unlocked already, of course, which makes this 1 out of only 7 nations in the entire game that has admin efficiency in their national ideas, and one of that is only, of course, Rome also. So, and the other is the Holy Roman Empire, so this is quite insane. And then after all, also on top of that, plus 20% goods produced modifier, which only 4 nations in game have that modifier, one of which is Great Britain. And that makes this mission tree basically a combination of the best national ideas out of all of the great endgame tags in game, such as Great Britain, Holy Roman Empire, Prussia for the discipline and the combat ability. So that is already insanely strong if you keep in mind that this is in 1518. And then on top of that, of course, I get the insane Imperial German missions, as you can see, which one of them is already fulfilled if you have 50 own provinces in North and South Germany, which I of course have. And this gives me permanent claims on the Low Countries, Italy, France and Poland regions, which is, in my opinion, totally insane. You can see this is my ally because so that you can see that really nice. But this is all permanent claims, as you can see, permanent claims on all of these insane provinces that you can see right now. And then this mission to annex Poland actually gives you the same on the Carpathia region, permanent claims on all of that. On the Scandinavia region, all of that permanent claims, and on the Baltic region, all of that permanent claims. And then it gets up to 11 permanent bonuses from that mission tree, which one of them is actually another 5% admin efficiency, along with 10% morale of navies, 10% trade company investment cost, minus 33% cost to promote mercantilism, plus 15% burger loyalty until the end of the game, even more goods produced bonuses on these regions that you can see, which are of course extremely powerful in their trade goods, that's for sure, and also have a lot of coal for the late game. Plus 1 diplomatic reputation is also in this mission tree, along with also 15% loyalty for the nobility estate, so 15% for the burghers and for the nobility, and of course culture conversion cost and institution spread minus 10% and plus 10% until the end of the game. And to be fair on that front, those 2 missions, this one for culture conversion cost and this one for the admin efficiency, are locked behind building universities on that one, and locked behind having absolutism in that one. So it is not totally broken, but I think you get the point. All of the other missions with the permanent claims, the mana points that you get over there and so on, the other permanent bonuses that you can already get before absolutism, so basically right now if I had fulfilled them, and together with the Imperial German ideas, which are just straight up an S tier national idea setup, this is just a totally broken thing to form Germany in 1518. So that was about proving you that you can form Germany in 1518, like for real. I was not lying about that in the video title, as I am never actually lying in my video titles, but anyways, I am going to continue this game for a few more years, like probably like 4 to 5 more years, to complete the Teutonic Prussian mission tree first, because you notice there are pretty strong modifiers in there. You can see the Great Prussian Military Reform gives you some nice military moduses. Over here, until the end of the game, yearly army tradition decay, another minus 1%. Over here, 800 Splendor, power projection, army tradition, and more army professionalism, which then leads you to the army with a state mission, which gives you those insane modifiers of minus 15% reinforced cost, army drill gain modifier, and regiment drill loss, and the event on war, which all I need to do for is to get 20 discipline plus 20%, which is not difficult at all after I unlock the Prussian monarchy, of course. And I need to build 15 manufactories with base production 6, which I will do right now, and I can of course build I have enough provinces that I can build farm estates in, so that won't be a problem. It will just take around 4 to 5 years, so I'm just going to play until then and click all those missions. So if you want to see that, just stick around a little bit longer. But anyways, this is totally broken already. Okay, it took me just a little bit longer because I had to wait for more Diplo points, but now I've done it. I have this mission completed with 50 manufactories and base production of 6, which is really nice. And this is now the moment that I would theoretically legit switch to Germany after I complete this mission, of course. And yeah, I'm going to do that now. You see, first of all, I'm going to get this mission to get the Prussian monarchy, so that I can get the militarization mechanic, and I can also click that. Not that yet, of course, but I can take the idea for that matter. And now that I have, I'm going to do the reforms data, and it doesn't really matter. Now that I have the militarization, you can see I'm over the governing capacity, of course, but I just need it for a second. And I have already 115% discipline, which means that I just need to spend 250, around 200 something mana points to get that additional 5% discipline. And yeah, actually I have to spend it one more time because I think it updates only on the next month. No, it updates right now. Okay. Anyways, now I get the Great Prussian Military Reform event that, as you can see, gives me 5% army professionalism, 100 mil power, 20 militarization of country, and army tradition, which I don't need at all. But anyways, nice event over there. Now for this event I need to grant the estate privilege Junker Supremacy, which I can just give out right now. Militarization of state, really nice thing, and without any influence, so it doesn't really matter. Now I get noble generals until the end of the game, which gives me militarization of the state, another 0.02, and minus 1% army tradition decay, which right now in total means that at 100 army tradition I'm literally only losing 1 per year, which is no problem at all, which grants me all of those super nice effects basically permanent right now. And then I can obviously click that mission, just get a little bit of money, which is not a lot actually. And for that I need to have 75 army professionalism, which I of course have. I was slamming generals all the game already to get this high, and of course drilling my armies all day or night. But I also need to do what the mission says, prove my strength. and I need to do that with fighting a nation that has a higher force limit, higher development of mine, and more than 60,000 soldiers, which I'm just going to do right now with a humiliation CB against the Ottoman Empire together with France and Venice. Okay, and now actually I have to actually fight battles so that they lose 60,000 soldiers against me in combat, which to be real shouldn't be difficult at all. And with that battle I've actually got it. As you can see, they've lost 80,000 troops in battles, I've lost 45,000 troops in battles. Quite nice, considering also that the unit types of course are still way better from the Ottoman Empire. But anyways, this gives me 800 Splendor, 50 power projection, which I can actually use as it seems, 20 army tradition, which is capped at 100 already, and another 5 army professionalism, which brings me up to exactly 100% army professionalism, and therefore immediately completing this mission where I need to have 100% army professionalism. And now I can actually click that as well with all of those nice modifiers until the end of the game. And this event basically gives me Karl von Clausewitz, who actually is one of the most important army reformers and strategists of the Prussian kingdom. He lived in the 19th century, so I can get him now in the 16th century. I can now actually click the mission to unite the German Empire, I would call it, to get in those nice modifiers that I've talked about. Also 10% more governing capacity, which is really needed a lot right now. And as you can see, giving me 70 more governing capacity, which is quite something, I would say. And of course, I'm now able to form Germany. Take the new traditions and ambitions, of course, because those are just insane ideas, as I talked about, and get the permanent claims already. And actually, to do something different, I'm actually now going to go for the Republic and form a Republican Germany, or Prussia Germany for that matter. And for those of you who didn't know, there is also a Republican reform that gives you the same modifiers as the one for the monarchy, as you can see over there. With the plutocratic idea groups, general becomes ruler when the ruler dies, which is really nice, and enables the militarization mechanic, of course, alongside with those modifiers, as you can see down there. That is basically the Prussian democracy over there. As you can see, it is called Junker Stratocracy, which basically means that, my nobility right now runs the country as an aristocracy, but an electorate version of that. Which of course give me the nice modifiers of the Republican reforms. So really nice on that front as well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, we are going to see in the next video.